I was in Colorado and I met this guy named Stevie, and he's running across America the opposite way, right? And we cross. It's a beautiful day. And he actually, I mean, God bless Stevie, but he turned around and walked the wrong way to talk with me all day.
Oh, wow.
I wouldn't have done it. I love Stevie, but
Right.
bro, I'm not going east, bro. Sorry, bro. Sorry, dude.
Were you guys like grilling out in the evening, doing any fresh veggies, or did you have like a certain caloric intake?
Yeah, a stupid one.
Really?
Yeah. I was wearing this Whoop thing at the beginning. I lost the battery for it halfway through, but it would basically tell me my caloric output. So we're just trying to match it. At the beginning, it was spitting out crazy numbers, like 8,000, 10,000. But I think
it's like NASA kind of.
I think as I walked more, I started getting more used to it, and I was eating a little less. But yeah, just eating a lot of food, man. And man, you had to stop and shit a lot too, because you're eating so much.
Yeah. I guess you got a lot of shit in your body.
That was the worst part. Not the worst part, but it's just a lot of times be like just pooping on the side of it. I'm like, man, I want to keep walking, but it's like, fuck.
I hate that.
I gotta stop again. You know.
I can't poop if I see broken glass near me. You know. So I think some of that kind of outdoor kind of stuff, I don't have as much strength when it comes to that.
Why broken glass?
Oh, it makes me nervous, dude. Why not? You know what I'm saying, bro? I'm not letting my asshole open up if there's broken glass nearby. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm no Roman warrior, but I know that, you know?
Dude.
Mike, thanks for being here today, man. Yeah, so you have two of your buddies that are here today, too. I want to acknowledge them.
I want to acknowledge them too.
Yeah, man. Will you let us know? Just let the listeners know who they are in case they hear some.
Yeah, my buddy Julian's here, who was one of my walk managers. Basically, I walk supported, which means that I wasn't backpacking. As I walked, we had a support vehicle that Julian drove, and he basically sorted out a lot of the navigation and the food. Basically, all I had to do was the miles.
Wow.
And I didn't have to carry everything on my back. And I always try to make that clear, because there are people out there right now and every year who do it unsupported.
Is there beef? Is there a lot of street beef between people who
No,
have?
mostly everyone's very supportive of each other. Every once in a while, I got a little bit, I think, just because I was more of a public figure when I started. So I think a few people kind of get their feathers ruffled, but that's like 1%. Most of the people are just really supportive of each other. And so Julian, he would take turns. There was another guy, Colin. Basically, Julian go home for a few months, and Colin would come. And they'd switch on and off.
Wow, that's amazing to have that much support. We were talking about it when you were in the restroom, but just to have that much, to have somebody that's just so patient to be there.
Yeah, he was the best, man. He never really got flustered or nothing. Just
would you get pretty flustered and all? Like, would it be the end of a day and you're like, fuck?
Yeah, sometimes you're just tired at the end of the day.
Yeah,
but I'm like, I go up and down, I go up and down for sure. Sometimes, I'm like bouncing off the walls. I'd be a very goofy guy.
Yeah.
Other times it's like a dog in me too, that's like the sports guy. Like, let's fucking get it. And I'm not fucking around.
Yeah.
That guy comes out. And then it's everything in between. And that's like, I might touch both of those 2-3 times during the day. Yeah.
I noticed you said you take in the calories and you would start to learn, okay, I have this input and this output, that's, you were kind of monitoring in the beginning. Did you start to feel like a machine? I mean, at the total, you went 2,800 miles. In the beginning, did you feel more like a human? And by the end, did you feel like more like a machine? Or did your humanity kind of grow? I know that's kind of a big question, but it just had me kind of thinking about that.
No, it was more the second one. It just became my normal life. It's just what we do. Wake up 5 a.m. and wake up 4 a.m. We walk at 5. And
will you guys do it for a pre-walk before the walk, or any jog or anything before to get heated up?
The first thing I would do at 4 is I meditate for 20, 30 minutes, and then Julian have like a little fruit out. You know, I have couple bananas and some peanut butter.
Gang,
throw that down the hole, and then
that Filipino Thanksgiving right there, bro.
Oh my
you feel
God,
me?
dude, oh my God.
And we have a lot of Filipino listeners too, man. Beautiful.
And and I just stretch out a little bit, and then I just try to get out the door as soon as possible. And that's really because it's seasonal. You know, you're walking in the summer, you got to get those miles in before, it's 3 p.m. and it's 95 with 95% humidity. You want to already have 20 done then. You don't want to be on mile 8 then,
Yeah. Wow. So were there some days where you started late and you're like, man, you got in a jam? Like, was that something you kind of learned early? Like how to, the learning curve must have been pretty steep, huh?
Yeah, I figured it out. It just worked best for me. I think there's other guys I talk to that are either running or walking across, and they have more loosey-goosey thing where they would, and I don't use that in a bad way, they're just able to wake up and kind of do what they felt like doing that day. But I don't really work that way. I got to wake up the same time every day. We had a rule on the walk, no snooze button.
Damn.
No snooze button.
No snooze nation, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, there's a P. Diddy quote.
Yeah.
And he says 2 types of people in the world: those that hit the snooze and those that don't. And then there's this David Goggins quote I love about. He said, "You don't hit the snooze button because if you do, you wake up already failing."
Damn.
And it's just real. So that thing would go off, 4 a.m, and I never wanted to wake up and walk. 0 days that I go, oh yeah, it's 4 a.m. Let's get none. But the big part of me, that I actually wanted to accomplish this goal, got my ass out of bed every day. And I thought, when I set out on this walk, I was gonna have kind of like a hippy dippy, free flowing walk across America. You meet somebody and I stay there in their town 4 or 5 days, catch the vibe. But I start this thing, and at the beginning, I couldn't walk as many miles as I could at the end, obviously. So the first day I only walked 8 miles. And the second day I think I got 10 or something like that.
Yeah,
and so
8 miles,
I started doing the math, and the whole thing, the whole like scheduling navigational part is really based around the mountain ranges. You don't want to be in the Rocky Mountains in winter.
Right.
You're fucked.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to do the math.
Yeah, you're going to write one of those books where you die at the end. Like, what's that boy?
Well, somebody else is going to write that book.
Chris McCandless or whatever, dude.
I don't know who you're talking about.
He ate some bad berries or something, or fruit at the end.
Oh, you talking about the Into the Wild?
Yeah. So at least you got Julian covering your fruit, you know what I'm saying? Tasting your fruit for you first in the morning. And if he's still alive, if at 6:15, you're like, well, let's fucking rock, bro. Because that boy died at some bad berries or something. But
that's right.
Question, so I don't forget. Yeah. Did you have a music that was on your alarm every day that you would wake up to? Was it just a...
No, it's just my watch.
Oh, just your watch. Yeah. Okay, it's just a watch alarm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just a bam, bam, or...
Yeah, well, it's interesting, when I first started the walk, because I was removed from basically all my friends and family, I noticed I was actually on my phone more. I always thought like I'll be out in nature, and then here, lo and behold, I'm out walking across America, walking across New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and I'm on my phone like all the time. Like I'm taking pictures of every fucking flower and put them on Instagram, all this shit, and I realized like I don't know, a couple of weeks in or a month in, like what the fuck you doing, dude?
Yeah,
like you could play on your phone anywhere, man. You're missing.
Yeah, it started to cut back. Even if we look at your chart, like on the post, I mean, we have your, MikePosner.com, and it shows your walk across and the path that you took.
Yeah.
It shows where you had social media posts, and there's a lot in the beginning, and then the second half, it's an eighth as much, it looks like. But, I mean, it's interesting. Yeah, something happened in there where you're like, oh, man,
Well, I started off, just realizing I was fucking missing it. I was on it too much. And then... I was in Colorado, and I met this guy named Stevie, and he's running across America the opposite way, right? And we crossed. It was a beautiful day, and he actually, God bless Stevie, but he turned around and walked the wrong way to talk with me all day.
Oh wow!
I wouldn't have done it. I love Stevie, but bro, I'm not going east, bro. Sorry, bro. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, bro.
So
Have your E, Stevie.
So he walked.
That's E, Stevie, dude. We ain't messing with that guy,
So
bro.
he walked. We
We had
my
a guy
way.
like that growing up, dude. His boy
Yeah,
named Shane, and he
shocker,
would only go
dude.
one direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his
Which
own
way?
thing. Huh?
Which direction?
It was kind of like that. But every time you saw him, dude, he was coming at an angle. And he walked shoulder first like he was a shark. This dude was baffling, bro. But you would see him, you'd just be hanging out around town, and you'd fucking see Shane go by, bro. Fucking one direction Shane, shoulder first, dude.
Out of control.
You know? Yeah, just looking for, I don't know what he was looking for, dude. Pirate ships. I don't know what he was looking for. A fucking hot current. That dude was like, it was almost like he was caught in an air current, just fucking cruising the world. But I don't know what happened to him. I think something probably happened to him.
He left school once, never came
Oh,
home.
dude, he
Dude.
just shoulder first, boy. You know what I'm saying? That human shark, bro. He's just moving.
Oh my God.
Was it hard to start to separate yourself from social media? I mean, because this must be weeks where you don't do a post, where you don't have a social media post. I mean,
I actually don't know if that's exactly what the fuck those stars mean. I'm not sure. But no, I would
but
do.
it definitely became less, like you're saying.
I stopped using my phone when I was walking. So anyway, I met Stevie.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I met Stevie and this guy blew. At the time, I'm walking supported 24 miles a day. And he is running unsupported 30 to 40 miles per day. And not only that, he looks at me, he goes, yeah, man, I didn't bring headphones on purpose because I wanted to face all my demons and just be there. And so basically the 2 days after I met him, I got bit by a rattlesnake. And I thought it wasn't a big deal. I thought I was going to get the anti-venom and I'd be back walking the next day. Turns out it's a bigger deal, and I thought I was in the ICU. I'm in the hospital 5 days. Takes me 3 weeks to get back. I start up at my spot that I got bit at.
Did you walk out to the same exact spot?
Same exact spot. Julian took me there, man.
Dang.
I was scared.
Yeah,
But I
what
knew I
was
had
that
to
like?
do it.
Having to commit what happened during that 3 weeks? That was, I mean, I definitely went back and saw some posts and stuff, but what was I saw one post you were talking about how comfortable it was almost to be back in, like, especially a hospital. Like, I love surgery. I love things where they're taking care of you and somebody's coming in and, you know, it's lunchtime, it's Valium, it's Thursday.
It's
you know?
Valium,
Just
Jesus.
whatever, dude, you know? It's like it's just so much care for you in like in a medical environment. You know, there's the nurses, there's just
Yeah.
constant care and it feels
Yeah.
good. And I saw you talk about where, yeah, it was like almost hard to let some of that, you know, it was like you were back into this real
For
comfortable
sure,
place.
the real small part of me, you know, you got to understand at the time I got bit by that snake, I'm walking pretty much 8 hours a day, completely alone, sweating it out. You know, it's early August. And that shit was fucking hard, man. I couldn't really sleep because it was so hot. And my feet felt like they were fucking broken. You know, I'd wake up in the morning, stand up, and it just felt terrible. You know, like I could barely stand up some days.
Was it the muscles, the bone? Are you getting worn down? Like, are they blistered?
It turns out, it has blisters too, but it turns out it was just the muscles. They were just sore in a way I'd never even fucking wrap my head around. But at the time, I thought they were broken. I thought I was going to finish and I'd go to the doctor and be like, he's going to be like, dude, we got to fix your feet, you know? But it was really, I was kind of a bitch and I just hadn't felt that kind of soreness and pain yet. And basically, yeah, I went to the hospital and people always say, man, was that the hardest day of your walk? It's like, no, I wasn't even close, man, because they got me there and you're right. I was now out of the heat. I'm in air conditioning. I'm not alone anymore. I got actually female nurses around, you know, and like doctors, you know, just making sure I'm cool. And, you know, you want something to eat, you just hit a buzzer. They bring the shit into
that
you.
Salisbury steak, bro. You feel me, dude?
And,
God, man.
and
Lemon
meanwhile,
pie.
you know, like online, there's this outpouring of sympathy and support.
Oh, it's a way out even if you want it.
Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
you
dude,
know,
you're like,
and,
damn, I couldn't have hired a snake to come out. Julian's been training the snake for 2 months in the van, and finally he lets that bastard out.
dude, you know, the weak part of me, the little me, he wants to stay there.
Wow.
He wants to stay getting all that attention, that nice food, that air conditioning, nice bed. I don't have to get up at 4 a.m. all that feels good, and it's very easy. I felt it even in myself a little bit, falling into kind of trying to milk it, and you're staying in that spot, and that's what playing a victim is.
Yeah.
You know, you're actually creating suffering or making up suffering that's not really there in order to get attention, basically, to get sympathy, to have an excuse. And I had to just have a talk with myself. You know, the big me had to talk to the little me and say, look, you're getting better, motherfucker. You need to go finish what you started. And you know, the good thing is when I started this, you do something like this, and really you do anything worthwhile in life, the shit's gonna be hard. As you know, to get where you're sitting right now, it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
You know?
Had to work a lot.
Yeah, how many times you had to fail and stuff to have what you got now? A bajillion.
A lot.
Yeah. And so the thing is, you have to have a no matter what clause in any contract you got with yourself.
Well, I think it's just interesting you're able to have that conversation with yourself. You know, I've heard you say it a couple of times, the little me. And
that's right.
And we struggle with that. I struggle with that kind of stuff a lot, you know, like the first part of me not being strong enough, not wanting to, you know, not being brave enough, or not thinking that I can, or wanting to take the easy way out, you know, and then to try and get this bigger picture, you know, and just tools to say, look, you know, like, you know, you got to move, you know, you got to get going. Like you got to, there's this little speed bump in the beginning. And if you can get over that, then it's a lot different. It's that bigger picture, you know, but that little speed bump is so powerful a lot of times, man.
Yeah.
So for you to see that you can have this bigger you that's talking to this little you, yeah, man, I can just totally relate to that, you know?
Yeah. And a lot of times, you know, to be more accurate, I didn't really have to talk to myself in that moment, because when I started, I had decided I was going to walk across America. Yeah, anybody can say that shit. And that's what I would say publicly. But what I would say to myself is, I'm going to walk across America no matter what. No matter what. So what's that mean? I played this shit out in my head. If I break my leg out here, I'm going to let that mother heal. And I'm going to go to the spot where I broke my leg, and I'm going to finish. I had already visualized that, you know. I had already decided that. So when the snake thing happened, I didn't have to have a conversation with myself. I have to decide, you know, hey, I'm going to go back. I knew I'm going back, you know. And it helps, you know, I had a lot of support too. My homie Chad is here too. You know, sometimes I would call him, be like, dude, my feet feel awful. And he'd be like, he'd go, yeah, motherfucker, they're supposed to, you know?
Yeah.
Remember, you're walking across America. Like,
yeah, dude.
Like, dude, that's what you signed up for. And so you start reorient yourself.
Yeah,
like
you ain't at the Foot Locker, bro. Your
dude,
shit is supposed to feel pretty unkempt.
These unkempt, dude. That's the wrong adjective, dude.
Is it?
It sounds like my toenails are long and I got fucking hairy feet or some fungus, dude.
Bro, I don't know what adjectives are, so.
Unkempt, bro. Dude, no, it's like you start to reorient yourself around this hardship, because most of my life, basically my whole life, 30 years before I went on this walk, it was oriented around making it more comfortable. And just like a bunch of bullshit, you know. It's like, hey, you know, maybe if I play this game a little better, I'll move from this neighborhood in West Hollywood to this neighborhood in the fucking Hollywood Hills, and instead of this, I'll date this person, and then I'll feel better. And I'll sort of zoom out on my life and realize I'm playing in a fucking sandbox right now.
Yeah.
And I'm going, hey, that toy that he has over there looks nice. Let me try it. Let me try that one out. You know, oh, that toy is cool. Let me try this toy out. And I was just wasting my life. And I was doing quote what I was supposed to do.
Right.
I was finishing my albums, and don't get me wrong, I love all my music. It's my heart.
Mm-hmm.
But my life was sort of designed by a 21-year-old me trying to break into LA and become famous. And I'm 31 and I'm living the same fucking lifestyle.
Right.
And so there's this incongruency between who I am now and the life I'm living.
And the channel that you're kind of still like kind of wandering.
And it's nobody's fault but me. It's nobody's fault but mine. And there is no one that's going to bring those two things into congruency but me.
Right.
I'll call my manager. He's going to tell me, go back on tour. I love my manager.
Right, that's his job.
That's his job. He's going to say, you finished the album, we got to support that album, go on tour. You finished the tour, let's get another album.
Right.
You know? And he never said those words to me.
Right, but no, but that's their job. And that's what they're supposed to do.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's what I was supposed to do.
Right.
But I sort of slowly realized I'm living someone else's life. You know, and that thing fucking sneaks up on your ass, man.
Man, it's so funny.
It sneaks up on you. It's not some like come to God moment or anything. It's like you slowly realize, man, what I really want to do is this walk, and I'm not doing it. I put it off for 5 years.
Wow.
Because something always came up. I had an excuse each year. And you got to start the thing in spring for what we talked about.
Oh, right. So,
not hitting the Rocky. So every spring, something would come up, and then I go out on the walk. Right. Step one, take one step. So I do it. I'm out there, and as I'm going, I meet a lot of people, and nice people, good people, and they come up to me and they say, "Hey, what you're doing is very inspiring." I'll say thank you, and they say, I really like to do something like that one day. But right now, I don't have enough time, or I don't have enough money, or I'm too old, or I'm too young. I heard all that. I heard,
young, that's insane, bro.
Bro,
You walking through a middle school, bro. You gotta walk around.
Nah, dude.
Area, bro. I
meet these they be. I know. But they be college kids.
No, 100%.
And
Yeah,
they think
I can do it later.
They feel so much pressure to go get a good job and be successful right away. I'm telling you, I meet an 18-year-old tell me, yeah, man, I'm just too young. This shit happened in real life, and I'm sitting there like, what the fuck are you talking about? And it's not about walking across America. Fuck that. That was my dream.
Right.
But whatever that thing is for you, 95% of the people listening to this, 95% of the people I meet, they got a thing like that. And it doesn't have to be a drop everything, quit my job. It doesn't have to be that. It's just a thing that you want to do, you are called to do, and you have an excuse why you're not fucking doing it right now. You don't have an excuse. You have a reason. I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, whatever it is.
You have an excuse wearing a reason as a cape.
That's what it is. And that's my contention to your listeners. Whatever that thing is, whether it's starting a business or whether it's hitting the gym, I don't give a fuck what it is. And don't copy my dream.
Right.
Fuck you, man. That's my dream.
Yeah.
Whatever your thing is, and your reason for not doing it, that's exactly right what you said. Really look at it, look in the mirror. That reason, I can almost guarantee you, is a fucking excuse.
Yeah.
And it's just your cop out for not living your life, for taking the easy way out. And hey, man, we're gonna die. It's like a few years ago, my dad died, and my collaborator Avicii, he died. So my peer, guy I used to do shows with, Mac Miller, he died. In February, one of my friends I grew up with, Ronnie, died. And it's like, hey, man, I'm living healthy. Hopefully it's no time soon, but you're gonna die one day too.
Yeah. And
you could either live your life before that happens or not. It's up to you, man.
Yeah, it's did some of that death that came in your life, do you feel like that was kind of some of the stuff that really threw the gas on, you said it had been a few years where you kind of, something had come up around the springtime, and what was it you think that was that last thing? Was it that you'd already told so many people you were going to do this walk? Like, how did that all kind of where it's like, okay, I gotta take this step?
It was a couple things. Really, one was Avicii when he died. I sound weird to say this, but there's something beautiful about death. Mm-hmm. If you haven't been around or had a close one die, you will soon. And each time that happens, I feel like there's this, like, for me, it's about 2 weeks there where all the bullshit traps, mind games that I'm usually in, they fade out, and I can see what's actually important to me. You know?
Yeah, it's almost like other people, when they do die or whatever, the thing that permeates from them is this value of existence that really hits the rest of us pretty severe.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think it's just that. It reminds you of your own mortality.
Yeah.
And I really believe when you acknowledge you're going to have a death, you can start to live a good life. And so the thing is, that shit always, like, it always lasts for like a few weeks for me.
Yeah.
And it'll go away and I start to just get caught up in bullshit. And so, yeah, when Avicii died, it was a big reminder. And I remember just thinking, like, man, I gotta go on the wall. I actually wanted to go, like, immediately. But I didn't have anything prepared or nothing. So I was like, all right, dude, wait till the spring. That's when you do it the right way.
Wait till Julian can tell his mom he's going out of town. You got to plan a little bit.
That's right.
But
you got to plan a lot.
You have to plan a lot, huh?
You got to plan a lot. You got to plan a lot. You know?
Yeah, it's so funny with that mortality, man. It's so funny how... it's so funny when I had a buddy that passed away a couple weeks ago. He died of addiction, my friend Tommy. And
I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah, thanks, man. And he was a beautiful dude, man. And he, but yeah, we went to his service and it was just like, man, if he could be doing anything, he would just be alive. That's it. You know, that's the first thing he would be, you know? And it's like, it's so hard to get make your life feel tangible to you sometimes as we get older. You know, when you're young, it feels like so... I mean, you don't really have that much of a concept of being alive, but it feels magical, yes.
There's a sense of awe.
Yes.
That's a good word. Awe.
Sense of awe, man. And then we get older, and it's almost like we get so much in these grooves of society and of life that it's hard to get it back to a level where it feels like tangible, you know, where it feels... where you feel alive and not just kind of part of what's going on.
That's right. That's right.
Did you have? I can imagine you probably had a lot of experiences of feeling alive on this journey.
Yeah, as you're talking, it was like reminded me that was why I left. You know, it's why I pulled the trigger on this thing. It was like a friend of mine said, man, so he starts doing the math and he's thinking about my career, all that stuff. He's looking, you know, he's going to take you 6 months to a year, and he says to me, so you basically giving up a year of your life to do this. I don't know, I thought about it for a second, and I go, I'm basically taking one back. I ain't giving up nothing, you know. Then now I'm claiming some sovereignty. I'm getting out of those grooves you're just talking about.
Yeah.
So
I'm setting my grounds here. I am myself.
It's just cool, you know, when I can boil down, you know, that's
pretty powerful, man, to think about that, of taking your life back.
That's right. You know, when I can boil down, there's a lot of reasons why I walked, you know. Some of them are small, some of them are big, some of them are shitty reasons. Like, one small reason is I wanted the fucking attention from it. I'm not proud of it. That's a character flaw, right?
Right.
But I'll try to be real about it. But the main reason I went out, if I can really I couldn't even articulate this before I left. I had to do the fucking thing to be able to say it. Was I wanted to become somebody that I was actually proud of. So I wanted, if somebody said, you know, who inspires you? Who's your hero? Who you look up to? I wanted to be able to look them in the eye and say me, you know? And
say yourself was.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I'm creating this dude in my head.
Yeah.
Like, that dude, he walked across America. So he's an idea. And then I go try to become him in real life. And this is just my idea. It's like creating a life that actually inspires you.
Right.
You know, it's like my goal shouldn't be something that, like, it's that like isn't inspiring, isn't cool to me.
Right.
I like this walk, that's fucking cool. It's a little less cool to me now, honestly. Now I've done it. And I met all these people that done it like in more badass ways and faster, just to be totally honest. But like it just inspired me the whole way. You know, it's dope. Other people I tell about, they're like, dude, you're an idiot. You are a crazy white person.
Yeah.
And I get that.
Yeah.
But this is not about you. This is about me and my life.
Right.
And I had to send it, man.
In this journey for me, I had to do it.
That's right.
Were you amazed at some of the feelings that started to, like, some of the reasoning you did it started to become more clear after you started? Like, was that kind of fascinating to you? Where you're like, holy shit, if I hadn't even started on this, I would have never gotten to some of these feelings and revelations and stuff for myself because I couldn't even see them before.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like, I still do feel like a completely different person. You know, I was a guy, even if I look at interviews of myself before, well, it's kind of like sometimes I want to punch the Duke guy in the face, you know.
Damn,
it's like
that's wild.
I don't even know if other people can see it, but I can see it.
Right.
I was more. I would like if you were saying some stuff I didn't really agree with, I'd be like, yeah, man, I would just fucking agree with you. I was less real, less authentic, more afraid of conflict. Man, just like not as good a person, I feel like. And I thought I was gonna become. I talked earlier. I thought I was gonna have this like kind of hippy dippy walk, and I thought I was gonna become like softer, but the opposite happened. I had to tap into like discipline and focus every day, and I became harder. As a person.
Was there? Were you surprised that some of the toughness that was in you? Like, did you ever kind of like, did you have some moments where I could imagine having some moments like, Jesus Christ, man, I didn't know. Because I feel like for me, I always hope that there's a certain person inside of me that I don't get to see that much. You know, there's like a power, there's like, you know, someone that's extremely confident and very powerful. And like, were you amazed sometimes? Did people that you didn't know, parts of yourself that you didn't know, did they come to the surface sometimes?
Yeah, 100%. You know, it was like
that's awesome, man.
And so here's the thing, man.
Imagine you never even noticed swimming up to the fucking surface. Like, hey, Mike,
what up,
I'm in here too. Yeah, what up, though, man?
So before I left, I had this inkling that there was more in me, a little more in me than I was letting out. And I think that's the problem with a lot of, especially men, is we know we got this fucking dog inside. We got this greatness, untapped motherfucking thing, and you don't know what the fuck to do with it, where to point it. And a lot of times we can point it the wrong direction and it fucks everything up.
Easy directions.
And I just had this inkling there's a little more in you than you are giving to the world. So I went out on this thing and I found I was wrong. It's not a little more in you, it's a fuck ton more than in you, man.
Wow.
You know? It's way more, like, and I still don't know. I feel like I just scratched the surface of it. So, you know, now it's my job to keep exploring and figure out what that looks like for me. And that's what I'm up to now, you know? But here's the thing, man. It's not like you're not going to recognize me. I still got like I said, I'm a goofy guy too. But there's this dog part of me, you know, that I think I was trying to suppress a lot earlier in my life, you know, and I look in the mirror, you know, maybe do some affirmations or meditation. You say, I am tough, or I'm resilient, I'm confident. But it's like,
my name is Hawkeye or something like that.
Yeah, it's like you don't really I'm fucking Hawkeye, dude.
Yeah, I'll give myself crazy names, bro.
You don't really believe yourself because you haven't shown any evidence in your real life. So it's like, go do something fucking tough, and you actually don't need to do an affirmation,
right? Because then it starts to live in you.
This is you. You did it. You know, you did it. But so I'm still me, you know. But
a little more of you now.
There's more of me, you know, and I needed those parts to come out. Some other dude, you know, might be too fucking hard. Maybe you need to soften up a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
You know?
You might want to take a different route.
For my journey, man, that's what I needed.
Yeah.
That Burning Man, they say you don't get the burn you want, get the burn you need. And I feel like that about the walk too. And I say you don't get the walk you want, you get the walk you need.
Wow.
You know.
Tell me about some of the vagrants out there, bro. Because I grew up, we grew up along. I used to live back behind this. They had a river behind us, and they had a rest area on the other side of it. That was a backup of the interstate.
Okay.
So rest area, a lot of men would meet up there, doing drugs, doing sex, river sex.
Doing sex, dude.
Oh, yeah.
What is river sex?
Sex out there right by the river, bro.
Copy that.
And so, and anyway, but a lot of it was drug-induced kind of sex. It was a lot of, these men probably had families and stuff, but they were doing drugs. But did you get to stop in any unique rest areas? Was there some decent, road warriors out there? Did hitchhikers look at you like, oh, look at this fucking guy, look at this show off,
I looked at, at the time, I had the big beard like I do now. Big hat, I had 2 walking sticks. I looked pretty fucking crazy. No one gave me really like much of a hard time. A few dogs came out, looking to tango. Had to fend them off with my sticks.
And what state was that in where these dogs are
that
at?
dog, I mean, they're in every state, but the one that came at me the most, I had 2 in Colorado that were kind of sketch. But
damn.
And I had some dog spray too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
And what flavor is that? What is it?
That's fucking, I don't know. Stay the fuck away from me flavor, dude. It's nothing good, dude.
Oh, right on. I'm thinking this like
dude, I want to tell you my rest area story, man. I think you like this.
Yeah, these are good.
Dude, these don't get too comfortable.
Oh, sorry, man. I'm fucking about to put some lotion on.
Like the way you say, yeah, your voice drops an octave, dude. The fuck? Yeah. Jesus, dude. We were in Ohio. Julie, what was it? What was the city? The Walmart. Do you remember?
I feel like it was close to Dayton.
No, it was close to Dayton. Yeah, I don't remember the city name, but we were in Columbus, and they were like, "Where are you headed next?" I forgot the city name. It's a city west of Columbus. You probably zoom in on
Akron?
No, it wasn't Akron. It's a smaller city, but there's a Walmart there. Is there? Oh, to the left is Dayton. Springfield. Yep.
Okay.
Springfield. So we're in Columbus, and everyone's telling us, "Yeah, man, just be careful when you get to Springfield. Just watch out." And people say that to you the entire way.
Yeah.
And usually the place they warn you about are the best places.
Right.
So I'm not really listening to them. And Julian, part of his job would be to figure out where we're going to sleep each night. So, like I said, we had a support vehicle. So if there's Walmarts, we could usually park there. They usually let us park there. Mm-hmm. And so just like that, there was a Walmart right on our route, which is perfect. And he's like, that's where we'll stop that night. So I get there, and I take my shoes off. I stretch and stuff. And I'm like, hey, Julian, I'm going to go take a dookie in the Walmart.
Oh, yeah. I've done that, dude.
So let me go make a deposit in the bank.
Yeah.
Let me go drop the kids off at school.
Oh, bro.
Why are you laughing at that? That's not a good joke, dude.
There's nothing more. I think there's nothing more American than, pulling over to shit at a Walmart.
That's pretty much it, dude. Jeez.
And I've done that, and I love it. I love being in there. Except sometimes people write stuff on the the outside wall. I find a lot of people have markers out there. But anyway,
let me
get.
I found something worse than a Sharpie message on a stall. I'm gonna tell you what happened. So I get to the stall in the back stall. I think I'm in a freaking handicap stall, which I shouldn't be.
Well,
but got my legs stretched out.
You burned it, bro. You just walked there.
Yeah, just walk. Okay,
the complete opposite of being handicapped is walking all the way to the Walmart.
Listen, man. Listen. I'm sitting on this toilet, okay? And I've been on the toilet for like 120 seconds. Mm-hmm. All right? I'm just getting started.
Oh, yeah.
I already told you how much I eat.
The prelims, baby. Yeah, the
It's just the prelim. I got my phone out. I'm comfortable, dude.
I'm staying here. Yeah. I'm downloading the episode or something. We're going to be here.
Listen, man. So, like, I'm just in the prelims. I hear somebody knock on the door, and I can see there's another stall next to me, empty. Mm-hmm. They knock on the door. They're like, "Hey, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yes, I am okay." All right. Oh, all right. My fucking spidey sense is tingling, dude. Why is this dude knocking on the door when there's an open stall here?
Yeah, that's alarming.
That's alarming. So then he follows with, "Do I know you?"
No.
Bro.
It was a fan.
Dude, it was not. I go, "Nope." I go, "You do not know me. I am clear as day. You do not know me."
How you gonna know somebody that's just in a shitter behind a door? Dude, unless you're like, David Blaine, bro.
He's like, "What
the fuck is this dude?"
He's like, are you sure?" I say, "Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure." He's like, "Let me just check. I think I know you."
Oh, damn,
I see
bro.
two. Okay, I'm sitting down at the thing. I see two hands with clear rubber gloves on, not rubber, like the doctor has. You know?
Yeah.
But they're not even like the
dentist,
like the subway people wear. You have the clear glove.
Oh, wow,
okay,
dude. Not even a good doctor.
Two of these creep over the. I'm looking at the top of the thing.
The sandwich maker mittens. Them bitches
over the top of the stall. He fucking pulled. I see two eyes come over like this. Okay, see the eyes come over. I'm sitting down. I'm in a vulnerable position.
Yeah, definitely.
I go, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing right now?" Okay, Mean Posner came out, dude. Mean Posner. It wasn't the guy. I go, "What the fuck?" He drops back down. Gloves disappear. He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." I go, "What the fuck are you?" He goes, I just thought you needed help. You were in there a long time." I go, "I've been in here 2 minutes, man. What are you talking about?" I didn't hear anything else. I think he left the room, but I'm fired up, man.
Oh, and that's hard to shit when you're real fired up.
Yeah. You know?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Actually, it wasn't that hard to shit, man.
Really?
Yeah, I finished my business. So I finished my business, but I'm fired up, and I'm ready to, like, fight this guy.
Oh, yeah.
And I open the door, he's not there. And I was using, Sherlock Pose. I was looking at those gloves. I think he's probably at the subway. I think he's a subway employee.
So you go looking for him?
I go looking for him.
Damn,
dude, I never found him. But I still don't know what was like. Is there some kind of weird meetup that happens in that back? Like, what do you make? What theory do you have to explain that?
I could see, man, it was daytime?
Daytime. Probably 4:30 p.m.
I could see that.
But the sun is out. Sun is out.
I could see people getting off work and maybe you...
Let me swallow before you say this.
If you gave out a certain vibe or something, you walked through the store, did you think you were doing that? Were you kind of peacocking as you went through it? Or something?
I everywhere I went on this walk, I did not feel. I stuck out. So I'm perpetual peacocking on this walk.
So maybe this guy had daydreamed that a man came in like you. Maybe that's the thing. You don't know where his life is meeting you at. But that's wild, dude, to do a pull up in those fucking.
Dude, he popped up, man.
That's crazy.
It was slow. It was.
I wonder who he thought you were.
I'm thinking there's some sort of weird meetup for like truckers.
Oh, I'm sure there's
like
some type
Tuesdays at 4:30 meet in the back. Why let's discuss why the gloves were on though. What do you make of that?
I think to not leave fingerprints, probably.
Oh my god!
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god!
Just in case it gets real rectal or something. You never know with this man.
Real rectal is that?
When things get rectal, bro. You gotta have a fucking mitten on, bro. Because this dude, if he's out there like that, maybe he's like a pianist, but don't want to, I don't know. That's wild to me. I don't like wearing those. I used to work at a sandwich place, and I don't like wearing those. Dude, I hooked up one time with Jared from Subway's sister one time, a long time ago.
Okay. Tell me more.
So that's it. There's nothing.
That's it?
Yeah. But it was a long time ago, but it was still, it happened.
How'd you know who her brother was?
People knew. She knew. That was facts.
You knew before you met her?
Oh, no. I ended up meeting her that night, and people were like, hey, that's Jared from
Oh, they were telling you.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much fandom did you have across? Because you were you were a
superstar?
Very, yeah.
Is that what you're gonna?
You're a very big. You're a big producer, musician, entertainer.
Thank you.
And thinker, I think, is something that even more people are probably going to start to see you as, or something that I personally. So I can't speak for everybody, but
I appreciate that.
But how much fandom did you run into, or people that are supporters and stuff?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I've had some popular music, but I live a pretty normal life. Most people don't know what my face looks like, which is pretty awesome. I can go to the store or whatever, and it's not a problem.
There's a nice freedom with that.
Huge, man. And I'm sure you have some friends who are like really famous.
It's scary.
It sucks, dude.
It does suck, doesn't it?
It's like it takes a lot of extra work to do normal stuff,
and probably something that takes you even further. We talk a lot about in here about like fame and what is the real value in it, and what is like just how much of a sidetrack it can be to being a human.
Huge.
I feel bad for a lot of guys. You see a lot of young guys these days who are struggling because of the fame. Something you can't live up to as a person, just as one person.
That's right.
You can't match this fictional kind of ambiance, or this crystal ball, or this disco ball that's kind of created. You can't just be that as one person.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of people, struggling with it. Even Justin Bieber, you see him recently come out about opening up about a lot of his struggles, which I think is pretty cool. But just the value of fame, I think, it's not as valuable, I think, as a lot of people think it is.
It's valuable in this way, but not so much in this way.
Yeah, there's a sacrifice. Big time.
But to answer your question, man, at the beginning of my walk, I said publicly, I'll walk with anybody. And so people would come from all over, and they'd walk with me, and it was very beautiful. My job when they showed up was to listen. That was my intention. I fucked it up sometimes, a lot, because they start asking me questions. I know I'm talking about myself.
Oh, yeah.
But my job really was to listen. And there's a lot of people, and I would just ask, every time someone showed up, hey, why did you come here today? What were you looking for? And not in a mean way, just so I know.
Right.
And it's always different. Some people, they just wanted to go on a wild goose chase hunt, whatever they call it, because they know roughly where I am, but not exactly, and it was just a fun thing to do on Saturday.
Like Easter egg, like you're like this Easter egg that's missing in the world.
Some people, they just want a picture, but some people had some shit they wanted to talk about that they felt like they couldn't tell to anybody else. So it was just different every time, and it was really beautiful because even if somebody is real excited, as like a fan or something like that, you walk like 2-3 miles, the sun starts beating down on you real quick. You're just two dudes out there.
Yeah.
So it was really cool.
Oh, that's interesting. It's like you could walk right out of your this like encasing kind of that happens sometimes from people knowing you in advance.
It takes a minute, and one of I would call him a mentor. He's a hospice chaplain. His name's Kevin Deegan. Chaplain Kevin, we call him. And before I left, he kind of gave me a lecture on listening. And he said, Mike, there's 3 levels of listening. The first is contextual, meaning I say, hey, my dad died 2 years ago. It's just a fact. That's context. And the second is emotional. That's one step deeper. And that's, my dad died 2 years ago and I felt lost. And the third is identity. And that's, my dad died 2 years ago, I felt lost. But it was the first time I felt like a man, changed who I was. or first time I felt like a real adult. And so he taught, if you can move the conversation away from step 1 to 2 to 3, then there can be healing, he says, on that third level. And so that's why I was trying to listen to people, and it's just certain cues and questions he gave me, whether it's just like, tell me more about that, or how did that, what did that change for you? Is a question you can ask people, and you're trying to take it out of small talk.
Yeah.
Down.
Yeah, because you can really connect with people at that level too, and it feels so good to connect with somebody at a level where you're both just human souls, kind of that, because you know what it's like to need something, and when you hear somebody need something, or there's people are sharing what they need, man, it's just such a magnet. It's such a comfortable place.
It's a gift you can give to somebody else.
Yeah.
At any time.
Yeah.
Just to really be there, really listen.
It's pretty powerful, huh?
Yeah, man. And the last one he gave me, he said, if all that shit doesn't work, you're saying goodbye, you ask them, if I pray for you, what should I pray for? I asked that question about 20,000 times on this walk, just from New Jersey to California. And people will tell you, man, pray for me, my sobriety, pray for my family. In the Navajo Nation, they say pray for my people a lot. People would say that. Pray for my people. And then you get out level 1, get to go a little deeper.
Was that one of the most popular answers? People praying for their sobriety? There's a lot of people with sobriety came out.
I wouldn't say like a lot. I wouldn't say like an abnormal percentage, but yeah, some people, especially, the guy I'm thinking of when I say that, it was one of the most touching things that happened on the whole walk. This dude, I was walking in Arizona on the Wallapai reservation, and I'm having sort of a end of the day tough day. I think I'm doing 24, 26, and this guy stops, pulls this red F-350, pulls the side of the road ahead of me, and starts to reverse. And I'm like, oh, what's this gonna be like, Yeah. And I'm on like a 2-lane busy highway. It's like, speed limit 65 or whatever. It's dangerous. So the dude, he like kind of dangerously like crosses the road. I'm like, oh gosh, like don't get hit by a car, please, bro. And he comes over and he's talking to me. He's like, I've just been following you. And it's an indigenous young man. Mm-hmm. His name is Rowan. And we just had this little. Honestly, I was tired. I wasn't doing any of that shit Chaplain Kevin told me. I wasn't really listening. I was just thinking about myself. But I remember to ask him that question. I said, if I pray for you, what should I pray for? And he said, man, and he took a moment like that. He's just, several years ago, my dad died. Alcohol, got a lot of alcoholism on those reservations.
Oh yeah.
And he died of alcohol. And a few years after that, I think it was his brother, he died from alcohol. And just like last year on Easter, my mom died alcohol. Damn. And I was like, you got any brothers? He's like, nah, like I'm alone now. So I would say, just pray for, I have a problem with alcohol too. I'm sober now. I can't remember how long, but just pray for my sobriety, And I was like, fuck, man, shit. I will, I will. He said, you just wait here, man. I got something for you. He runs across the road again. I got scared back to his truck, dude.
Alcohol ain't gonna get this guy, man. It's gonna be a damn fucking Corvette.
Dude, so he goes up to his truck, and he had this little leather pouch, and it's tied to like, you drive the car like this, and there's the like little handle there sometimes on the truck. It's tied there real tight, looped around, little leather pouch. He undoes it. He brings it over. He said, "Hey, man, this is in our tradition. sweet grass and sage. And we believe sometimes spirits or souls, they get lost right here where you're walking. And this is just, in our tradition, we believe this protects you. And I want you to have it. And I thought, fuck, man. He left. And he put his fucking hand out the window like this. Drove away from me. That shit after he left, shit just hit me right in the heart. Like, how this guy, first off, I'm a white guy walking on his land,
Right, which probably, but traditionally didn't really work out well.
Nah, we fucked them over in every single type of way possible, How could this guy be so welcoming to me, so kind, even after everything he's had such a hard run, and his smile. And that's one of the most touching moments of that whole walk, man.
Especially when you're having a day where it's like, you're at the end of the day. Sometimes you can't be, your best self after, it's hard. You can't always be your best self and do the things you want to do, like you're saying, like some of the guideposts that the chaplain had given you and things like that in conversation. And it happens a lot. And it's like you get into a moment, you're like, and then somebody does for you what you want to be doing for them, or what
right.
It's like somebody brings your journey, what your thing is, they bring it right to you, man. That's powerful, huh?
Powerful. Before I left, I wrote these sort of like intentions for myself. Mm-hmm. And one of them was, like I said, listen deeply. And another one was leave each place I go better than it was when I came. And I read that now, and that's one of the things I want to punch old Mike in the face. Like, you fucking cocky motherfucker. You think you're going to breeze in to the Wallapai Nation and leave it better?
Yeah.
Than it was? No, motherfucker. You're going to walk there, and because of people's, not just there, but everywhere that you walk, because of people's kindness and grace, they will leave you better. You're not, you know what I mean? I hear that now, so many people, I read it, I'm like, dude, you're so, it's cringeworthy. You were so cocky.
But for some weird reason, it's a normal train of thought. It's like, I used to think, like, especially when our podcast really started out, a lot of young men would reach out with things they were struggling. And I was thinking, like, oh yeah, this is great. I have an opportunity to be able to help other people, be a part of their life. But then over time, it's like, I've had so many struggles of my own that it's like the people that support the pie are always there for me. So it's like,
that's right.
It's just interesting, man. It just shows how much that we need each other. It really, that's one thing that I'm constantly, reminded of.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I know the story, I think it's the night you got or decided to get sober, Daryl Strawberry.
Yeah. That Daryl Strawberry, dude.
Fucking amazing, man. If anybody watching this hasn't seen that, they probably all have, but
thank you, man.
Watch that.
That means a lot coming
from
you.
But what happened the next day? What happened the next day? Did you go to a center? What happened?
The next day, I flew back out here to Los Angeles, and I'd been partying before I even left to Los Angeles. I've been doing some cocaine and doing that. And there was still some cocaine on my counter even when I got home. So,
oh, shit.
So I did that.
You left a little booby trap for yourself.
The worst, bro.
So you came back and did more cocaine?
Yeah, I had to, man, because I left it right there, And yeah, so at that point, then the next day I had some meetings and stuff. I was supposed to do work stuff, and I had to cancel it. And I went into an office of a manager that I had at the time. And he was introducing me to his manager boss. So the management company was kind of trying to take him some notice of me, what was going on in my career and stuff. Mm-hmm. And he said, hey, what's going on? And I just told him, Daryl Strawberry, I just told him what happened. I wasn't doing well. And I just said, I'm not really doing that well. It was the first time I'd gone into a place, I guess, and I don't know if it was the first time I'd gone in and been honest, but yeah, not thinking about what do I need to do to make my work better or career better, or try to position myself in here. I said, I've just been struggling, I've been, struggling with some cocaine and doing some drug. And he said, well, I go to these meetings if you want to go. It was crazy because the guy who I was kind of scared to talk to, he said, well, why don't you come with me to this thing tomorrow? I go to these meetings. And then the next day I went, and then I continued to stay in there, and start to figure out some other stuff. Because my alcoholism isn't really, I don't know how much I have a problem with drugs and alcohol, but I have a problem with the way that I think and feel about myself. And it's a constant battle. I can't just beat it. It's like it's one of those things that keeps coming back, It's that Mike Posner, bro. It'll come back day after day, dude. You know what I'm saying? It'll show up across the country, bro, day after day. It gets up. It gets up before me, my alcoholism,
That's
man.
right.
And it trains and it meditates and it's ready, bro. That shit comes. It'll fucking come off you open the cereal cupboard and that motherfucker will jump out with a fucking little dragon in his arm, It'll do stuff. So it's like it's a never-ending battle, kind of. But that's what happened. That was like the next day that happened.
You still go to the same meeting?
I do sometimes. Yeah. Not as much, but I do. And I go to a lot of them still.
Yeah.
It had me thinking, when you were walking, everywhere I go, people say that their town is the meth capital of the world. You must have heard that all the time, huh?
I never heard those words, but pretty much every place I went, I mean, it struck me, whether it was the smallest town in Pennsylvania or Indianapolis or, St. Louis, every place I went, I never saw it aside from a lot of needles on the side of the highway, especially in Pennsylvania. I mean, those things are fucking everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of needles.
Huh.
I always say needles like they were syringes. I don't know if they had needles on the ends. I couldn't tell. But every place I went, I would meet somebody who say, "We have a huge drug problem here. Huge." Every place.
That's wild, isn't it?
White, black, every place I went.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I notice in these programs, that this shit doesn't discriminate. I know some of the most powerful people now in entertainment that are, through this program, and I know people that have nothing, that have, haven't achieved any of their goals really, or are struggling with them, and it's amazing to see like that shit it'll get anybody. It's pretty powerful. Sorry to interrupt the episode here, but I got to let you know about something that's very crucial to your body and your existence. A lot of times you don't know what's going on with yourself, and then sometimes it's not that. And what I'm talking about is figs. I think there's something all of us can agree on, that nurses, doctors, dentists, and people who work in medicine and healthcare are good people. They're pretty great. They do something special. They contribute. And all of us can think of a time when a medical professional helped us or helped a family member. Well, figs, which is a beautiful little deal that I got from my sister because she is a nurse. Figs is an amazing company that is making scrubs stylish and functional for the people who deserve it most. You don't want a nurse coming in and she's dressed as like she's wearing like just like a life preserver or something, like a tank top. That's insane. So Figs creates the highest quality medical apparel so that medical professionals look their best, feel their best, and perform at their best every day. Every set of Figs is antimicrobial, protects from germs and bacteria, ridiculously soft, moisture wicking, and features 4-way stretch. Because if these people are saving somebody's life, they got to be able to do it. Look, if you have a nurse, a doctor, dentist, somebody who works in that field where they got to be clean and professional, they might as well be stylish as well. And this is something great you can get them now or for the holidays. And Figs gives back. Every time you shop at Figs, they give scrubs to healthcare providers in need around the world through their Threads for Threads initiative. So whether you're one of the awesome humans that works in healthcare or someone that wants to say thanks, Figs is going to make that easy by providing you with 15% off your first purchase by using my code Theo. That's right. Get ready to love your scrubs. Head to wearfigs, wearfigs.com and enter our code THEO at checkout. Again, these are people who are doing the Lord's work, so might as well garb them up and make them look very nice. Go to wearfigs.com and use code Theo. We had some calls that came in, man. We had so many questions. We want to get to a couple of video questions from some supporters.
They come in video, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, these people.
Oh,
they mean it. There's your boy right there.
dude, what do you think his name is?
I'm gonna go with Alan.
I'm gonna go with Jeremiah.
Okay.
That's Michael.
Oh shit.
Damn, there we go, bro.
Yo, what up, Theo and Mike? Mike, congratulations, man. I'm so happy for you for finishing that walk, doing what you said you were gonna do. You freaking delivered, man, so congrats on that. I have a question for you about false finish lines. So I've seen you mention that false finish lines have been a big struggle on the walk. You know, you make it to the end of a state, then you just gotta keep going. So my question to you is, how do you deal with those false finish lines? You know, you want that reward in your brain. You want to be happy about what you've accomplished, but you just got to keep going. So I'm curious, like, how you mentally and physically deal with that. Right on, brother. Gang, gang, guys.
Gang, bro. Thank you for the question.
Gang. That's what all of them say to you.
Yeah, man. That's
And then
the gang,
you say,
bro.
they say gang, gang. You just say one gang
I say
back.
gang, yeah.
Dang. But do you ever say gang twice and they say gang once?
Yep.
Or you're like the
Whoever starts the
boss.
gang has to double it.
Let's try one.
All right, gang, gang.
Gang. It didn't feel right.
Okay.
It just on my end.
All right, let me try.
I felt like my gang wasn't authentic.
I feel like it was authentic to you though, and that's what
Gang, gang.
gang, bro.
That felt better.
Okay,
I'm a
there we
better. I'm a better leader. I'm a better first.
there we
first
go,
dude.
man. Yeah.
But hey, man, Michael, right?
Yeah. That's
yeah,
a great question.
it's a
How when
great
you get to
question.
that finish line
Yeah,
and you
man,
know there's so
and-
much more to go to reboot yourself.
And I got even this nomenclature, false finish line or fake. I got that from David Goggins. He did a post about that. Before I was experiencing it, but I didn't know how to conceptualize it. So, just a little background. I was walking across Missouri, and when I was walking across Missouri, it's like end of July. It was fucking hot, like 95, 90% humidity. Like,
and you're completely covered. I mean, you look completely covered.
I wore it's the same shirt. I wear this shirt on the walk. I didn't wear this one too much because it's blue, and I ended up wearing the white ones because they're cooler. But this is a walk shirt. So they're long sleeve, dry fit, but this is Coach Chad helped me out with this too. Is UV protected.
Oh damn,
So,
Coach
man,
Chad.
I never
Cares
got
about your complexion. I
Believe
like
it or not, I never got sunburn. I'll show you this and see if I
You
still
never got
it.
sunburn?
Look at that. And that's 10. I finished 10 days ago. You see that?
Yeah.
So only my hand got tan. Yeah, because I always wore this shirt.
That tan-handed bad boy
yeah,
over here,
dude.
son.
If only my whole body looked like
Wow, that's
that.
amazing, man.
All right, so look. I'm walking in Missouri, and it's hot, and it's flooded. And I don't want to blow it out of proportion because people have lost their homes and everything. So I'm just doing my walk. So don't feel too bad for me, right? But there are days that I'm walking the wrong way because I get to a road and it's just not there. It's underwater. Or I get there and the water's come up to my knee and I'm walking more, it's come up to my hip. I'm like, dude, I gotta go a different way, dude. Like, this ain't gonna end good. Or I was on the Katy Trail and I'm walking through like nasty water.
Damn.
Like still water.
Oh yeah.
And like,
soup.
that's how I feel like when I picture some parts of
Just
Louisiana.
stagnant, huh? Oh yeah, stagnant.
Some swampy water, dude.
Oh yeah.
Look, so I remember coming out of this one water and my legs were just stinging. They're just stinging. I'm like, dang, I gotta wash those off soon, man. This is not good, right?
Yeah, right.
So, anyways, dude, and there's no cell service there, whatever. So we call it the old Fulton Loop because I had to go up to this city called Fulton, Missouri, and it was like, yeah, it was just the wrong way, and it's demoralizing walking the wrong direction.
Damn.
As you'd imagine. But I kept saying to myself, man, just get to Kansas, dude. Just get to Kansas. So that was kind of my mantra in Missouri. Just get to Kansas. Now, a couple weeks pass, and what happens? I get to Kansas. And I crossed that border, and I fucking cried, bro. I cried. It was amazing. Because nobody knew how hard it was but me, and somebody else that did the walkthrough. I mean, just nobody knew. And I thought, I made it, man. I made it to Kansas, And And it was the end of the day when I got at border. I went to bed, and I felt proud. And I went to sleep, and the next day, the alarm went off, 4 a.m. You just start walking, right? So I get up to go, and my mind, my body, my spirit, if you believe in that, if you don't want to believe in spirit, you just call it morale. My morale, they were all gone because they thought I was done. Because I kept telling them, just get to Kansas. So they go, we made it, motherfucker.
We got you here. Yep. See you later, Mike.
Right. So this was actually the hardest day of the walk for me. I start to go, and in hindsight, I think I was pretty bad dehydrated as well. But I get to a point where I'm limping, and if my mind isn't actively thinking walk, right, left, step, walk. If my mind isn't thinking, if it drifts at all to any other topic anywhere, my body just stops. And I finish my thought tangent and I realize I'm not moving. Fuck.
Wow.
And they'll be like,
You had to be that focused.
that's how I just had nothing left. There's just no energy there, man. Damn. And my feet are fucking hurting bad, and there's some trees and they have shade. And I would walk to like a shade, and I would sit down and try to just like cool off, get my shit together, and I see like another tree, another piece of shade, and it'd be like 200 feet in front of me, and I'd walk there, and my body would just fucking stop again. I'd sit down. I was just going from shade to shade, like, and they're not very far apart, and I'm taking a break at each one, and it's just. So this is when I learned this lesson, man. You can't create a finish line that isn't your finish line. So you got to break the motherfucker down. You're not just be like, hey, man, I got 2,601 miles. That's too big, you know? So, but you just go into the next checkpoint, but you're knowing that you're not done. And so then we got a new mantra after that. I got bit by a snake, all that shit. I learned. And Julian here, he'll remember, you know, when we like crossed the Rocky Mountains, or those were big deals because we had to plan for them differently, this kind of thing. Whenever we'd finish something like that, we'd be excited. We celebrate that shit. We did it, you know, for sure. But we would always say, this ain't a finish line, it's a checkpoint.
Yeah.
This ain't and we'd say it, you know, we're hyped up. So we're saying finish line, it's a checkpoint, boy. That's a checkpoint, boy.
That's that checkpoint nation, bro.
Ain't no finish line. We ain't done. You know, that's how we would do it after
right,
that.
Be excited to not be done.
That's right.
Wow.
We ain't done.
Yeah.
You ain't stop us there. We ain't done. You know? And so even when I finished the walk, it's one of the best days, you know, best moments of my life. I got 30 people at the beach waiting for me. And I took a vow of silence that day. I walk up to that beach, and I had a moment with each person. You know, they're standing shoulder to shoulder looking at me. The water's behind them. I could see the water. Like, fuck, man, I made it here. And I'm going down the line, hugging each person, just having a moment. And I'm listening. They're talking to me, but I ain't say shit. I said, I'm not saying anything till I get in that water. I seen Coach Chad there. I just start crying.
Wow.
Because he you know, that was the guy talking to me on the phone.
He'd been there every day, yeah.
He talked to me on the phone almost every day, you know, before. And he said in my ear, there was never a doubt. There was never a doubt. And I keep going down that line, you know. All the people, you know, guys I met at the Navajo Nation that drove there, you know, barely any gas money because we connected when I walked there. Wanted to be there when I finished. And the last two guys were Julian and Colin, the other walk manager. They took turns. And also Julian's ass, I start crying, dude. He's like, man, get up, give me a hug, dude. And he said, we finished our moment, and I'm getting ready to go in the water. And he looked at me, he said, this ain't a finish line, it's a checkpoint, you know?
Gang.
And our motto too was keep going. That's another one of our mottos.
I caught on to that one. Yeah, for
sure.
sure.
So we did. Every time I was say goodbye to Julian the whole walk, or Colin, I'm gonna go walk another 8 miles. We go like this. Keep going,
baby.
Every time. So we did that, and he just reminded me, even though you're done with this journey, you're not done, motherfucker. This is actually just the beginning, because we talked about all this stuff. You became this new guy. You found parts of yourself where you're stronger. Now you can do so much more. I mean, the things that are on the buffet now is so much more.
Oh yeah.
Than it was before I did the walk.
Right, it was salad before. You got dessert on there.
Yeah, I got
croutons.
Some balsamic vinaigrette.
Yeah, you got balsamic, dude. You got fucking oysters, bro. Everything. They got a fresh catch area. You fucking, this thing's big,
dude. That took the sneeze guard off.
Yeah, dog.
Listen, so
yeah, dude, buffet's gutter when they got that fucking sneeze guard on that bitch.
So I wanted to.
I never knew what that was until you just said that.
Yeah, dude, that's so you can't lean in. Damn. They don't want you in there.
I didn't know why they had it.
They have it for you, dude. Theo Vaughn's ass is funny.
Bro, I would never.
These look good. Jesus.
Damn, I wonder why don't they put them on a better, mobile? Because they always got these shady kind of piece of glass up at the top. You're always doing like this. I'm like, I should have been a surgeon. I'm just trying to get a couple of fucking potatoes, bro. That's crazy, man. I didn't know that. Wow, that's a safety sneeze guard.
So listen, dude.
So you ran into the water.
I ran in the water, but I wanted to not make that mistake again. So my body's pretty jacked, it's not injured, but it's pretty jacked up, my feet are hurting and all this stuff. But I know the next day after the walk's the most important day of the walk. Who cares? You learned a bunch of stuff, tapped in part of yourself, and you go the next day and you forget it all. Who cares? Anybody can do that. So
how do we do that? How do we keep that going?
Well, this is how I've been. This ended 10 days ago, so I'll tell you where I'm at. But the next day was very important to me, and I knew I needed rest, for my body. But in order to not fuck this mistake up, I knew I had to be up at 4 a.m. again the next day, and I knew I had to get after it. So I called this dude named Coach Marcelo. He runs a boxing gym. Argentinian man. I said, hey man, can you meet me at 5:30 Saturday? And I'm doing this, like a week before I finish the walk. I said, can you meet me 5:30 Saturday?
Wow, planning ahead. That's cool.
You meet me? And he said, yeah, I got to confirm. I said, I can't confirm. I'm turning my phone off Friday. I'm leaving my phone off for 2 days after that. I said, I need you to confirm now. Can you meet me 5:30? He said, yeah, I'll be there. So I'm up at 4. I hit that meditation. I ride my bike over to the boxing gym, and I fucking jump the rope. I hit the heavy bag. I hit the mitts. I do the sit-ups. He's throwing the medicine ball. And this shit, my body needs to rest. I know that. But hey, I also need my body, my mind, my spirit to know I'm not done. So that's what I did the next day. And I did some yoga after that, some physical therapy. And I just kept my phone off for 2 days. Because I knew I needed to feel how I felt without having to explain to other people how I felt. And I wrote about it. But I just try to keep that first week. I gave myself this week, I let myself sleep a little bit, which I needed, But that first week,
but you decompressed a little.
I needed to keep that schedule. And I thought I was gonna get depressed, you finish this big thing, but I really haven't, And that's because even though I'm not on the walk, I'm working on other things. Whether it's writing, I'm doing some writing of prose style, which is exciting to me and difficult. And
you're still walking inside of yourself. Do you find yourself kind of like the steps kind of keep going inside of yourself sometimes? Can you still feel them in your being kind of?
I don't know if I would put it quite like that, but yeah, I definitely feel like I left the walk, but the walk never leaves you. Yeah, for sure.
Do your legs sometimes be like, dude, take me for a walk? Like your leg, I feel like it would be like having a couple dang Dobermans on you.
Yeah, dude. You know they've been pretty tired, dude. But me and Coach Chad just started hitting some hikes because next thing one of the things I want to get into is mountaineering. Mm-hmm. So instead of walking on flat, just going that way. So we've been doing some hike, man. He took me out some bullshit yesterday.
And he's out of Louisiana, right? And that's flatland. I don't know. I would not let that man at an altitude. So I don't know what you guys are doing up there with him,
dude. He's got machetes out and shit.
Damn, dude.
You don't want to see
and y'all are just at a Carl's Jr. It's like, what the hell's going on?
You don't want to see this guy on a Saturday, bro. You don't want to see him.
It's dangerous, huh?
Yeah.
Some men get real dangerous on the weekend. I've seen that. Cameron Haynes and some of those guys, they get real dangerous on the weekend.
Has he come on your podcast?
Very violent. No, he hasn't. He would come on. No, I haven't even met him. We just communicated sometimes online, but he's really...
that dude's pretty gnarly.
Yeah,
man.
he seems pretty gnarly.
He runs like a marathon a day.
He doesn't stop.
Yeah.
We got this question that came in right here from me when I was younger.
All right, what do you think his name is?
Oh man, I'm gonna go with Scott.
That's Jeff. That's a strong Jeff.
Hey, what's up, Theo? What's up, Mike? It's Ben from Indiana.
Fuck, man.
Or as Mike knows me by, BC Birdman.
I know him.
I don't know.
We walked together back in Indiana around about 5 miles around Terre Haute. So what I want to ask Mike is that you told me.
I remember this dude. He changed his whole fucking. He didn't have a mustache like that. I remember this dude.
Oh, it might be because of Movember or whatever.
This guy was dope, man. Yeah.
In Indiana, that you developed a love for Ford F-150s.
That's right.
First of all, is there any plans to buy an Ford F-150 for your own? And then also, is there anything on the walk later on that after we stopped walking with you that you came to love or came to appreciate that you didn't think you would, or that you just couldn't expect?
I remember this guy. He walked to me, and I remember he got a hat that looked like mine, kinda.
Oh, cool.
And this guy is a bird enthusiast.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful.
So he talked to me on the walk. You know, we walk a few hours. He will like go in camo. And like he has these long lenses, and sometimes they call the cops on him because he looks scary, bro.
Like a weapon.
He's got these long lenses because he's trying to get this shot of this bird, you know, and he'll be just camped out in the grass waiting for that.
Oh yeah, perfect
shot.
On birds, bro. We used to have dudes like that.
The shot, dude. So, F-150. Yeah, I realized like, man, everyone has an F-150. I always lived in a city or a suburb.
Yeah, you don't see trucks here now. I mean, you never see a truck. You never see a truck.
Dude, but you on the walk, everyone has an F-150. Everyone has.
A lot of America has trucks. We never see them.
I started to love these and then I realized there's F-250s.
Damn.
And there's F-350s like Rowan had.
Bro, don't keep going up. I'll ejaculate.
Dude, and then my new favorite car after he met me became the F-750. There's it's like a front cab of a semi almost.
I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
Ooh, I don't want all that.
Dude, just relax.
750.
Can you put your hands on the table? Sorry, dude? Jesus, dude.
Hold on, let me put my gloves on first, and then I'll put them on, bro. Maybe that was me back there at that fucking Walmart.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, that's an F-750.
Yeah, that's the big boy. But normally they don't have like, see, that looks weird because it has the regular back. Mm-hmm. Usually they have like a dump truck or something on the back like that.
Wow, yeah, I never even seen. I didn't even know they have that.
But I would see these. I see them come up. I go, I think it's an F-750. I start hyping it up, and then either if it's big like that, either it's a 650 or 750. And if it comes by and it says on the side of the car, so I'm looking at it, it's coming right at me. I'm getting excited. It comes by, it says 650. I'm like, fuck, man, you hate to see it. But if it comes by like this, it says 750. Woo! I might even run a little bit after I see that boy.
It's the little things that get you going, huh?
Dude, I think like another, I don't know, just the second part of this question, any other things I learned or I didn't expect. the thing that popped in my head was hunters, man. I always thought hunters didn't give a fuck about animals.
Right.
I always thought they were like the people that like hated it, like fuck animals, man. Will fucking kill me soon, you know? So it turns out, at least all the hunters I met, they actually care about animals more than anybody.
Yeah.
And what I learned was, you know, you could live in LA and West Hollywood and you buy a fucking burger, and what you're basically doing is paying somebody else to, you know, factory farm these poor cows and fucking kill them in a terrible way. And you're, you know, you're funding the genocide basically, you know, but you're a hunter, like some of the guys I met, and you find out, one, it's just very regulated, you know, it's a certain time you get the tags.
Yeah, October, November is it.
Yeah, and you got they're only giving out the tags so you don't decimate the population. You're not hunting the babies, you know. So there's all that. And then what they taught me, like I was asking a hunter, I was like, man, so if you see a deer, like where you shoot it like in the head? And they're like, nah, you don't want to shoot a deer in the head.
Yeah, dude, this ain't casino or something.
I didn't know, dude. I didn't know, man.
What do you think somebody fucking...
No, dude, I thought you
tell me where a stream is.
I thought you see the animal, you shoot them. That's what I thought they did, you know? But I found out they wait till they can kill it in a way where it won't suffer, where it's going to be dead. So even if they can see the animal's in the scope, if it doesn't turn in the right way and they don't get a clean shot, they don't kill it. And they that I learned that changed my whole perspective of what I thought hunting was, you know. And these people doing this, you're like basically, you know, you're in the food chain then.
Yeah.
You know, it seems very ethical to me.
Yeah, in a lot of small areas, I mean, especially
as ethical as killing could be, you know, that would be it. It's more ethical to me than buying a burger at the store or whatever.
Right, and they use it, especially locally. You know, I'll get calls when I was back in Louisiana. Hey, you know, we have some venison, or we got this, or we got some quail, you know, or we got a fucking fresh load of fucking hamp meat.
What about those dudes? They come. This is a real thing. They because I've seen a lot of roadkill, as you might imagine.
Mm-hmm.
What are those dudes? They pick up the roadkill, eat it.
I think as long as they cook it and eat it, that's fine, dude.
Did you ever have any roadkill?
If they doing that fucking highway sashimi, bro, I'm out, dude. That's when I'm out, son. I'm out.
Did you ever have any roadkill meat?
I've had a lot of exotic meat that was probably killed. I wouldn't know if it was killed by an auto, but I bet it was killed by something, you know, fast and unnecessary.
Like what? Exotic
owl.
meats?
People know I've had owl meat. I've had
oh yeah.
What else? I wouldn't say I've had gerbil, but I've had something just a touch bigger than that.
What the fuck, dude? What's a touch bigger than a gerbil?
Probably like a little, maybe
a muskrat.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else you could be thinking. Maybe a large groundhog. What else do they have?
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, man, we came up in an area that had a lot of exotic meats. You know, I've had guinea pig, large ones, nothing small. I've had
dove.
I've had dove, yeah. A couple brothers near me used to always be grilling up doves, and I'd go get over there and eat it with them once in a while.
Why is it doves flying around? They'd shoot them?
I don't know.
Where'd they get them?
I think they catch them, you know.
Catch them with their hands?
Because a dove will come over, bro. That's the fucking Bible trying to reach out to you on wings,
no
dude.
No way. You can't catch a dove with your hands, bro.
I can't. But these chefs could, these local chefs.
Yeah.
We had one or two more video questions that came in, man. This is just, I mean, it's wild because I could talk to you. I mean, there's just so much to encapsulate that you started a feed and that you took it on and that you really did it.
Hey, man, that's the thing.
And it must be hard for you. Is it hard to corral all of the levels of it, the physical, the emotional,
Yeah, but that's one of the reasons I told you I'm doing that writing now. Because then I can start to see what I actually, a lot of stuff I'm saying today, I can
feel that.
Kind of think out because I'm writing it to myself.
Yeah, so do you think there'll be a book or something where people can, get a hold of? I mean, I think it could be helpful to people. I really think it could be.
I think I don't know if I'm called to do it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But I got once, if I'm gonna do a book, I'm a writer. I write my own song, I write other people's songs, so I couldn't use like a ghostwriter or anything like that.
You have to do it yourself.
And you do that book, it's gonna be hard. This is as hard as the walk, and it's gonna take longer for sure. Walk took 6 months.
That's true.
You do that book,
yeah.
If you do it right, it's gonna take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. You don't know. So
keep going, man. I love it.
Keep going, baby. Keep going.
This guy has a question right here. We'll get into
What's his name, dude? That's Alberto.
Hold on. Okay.
Albert or Alberto?
I'm going to go with Edwin.
He didn't really say. He put his name as Silver Fox. So.
Oh shit, we were way off, dude.
Well, he must be Native American. Is that Native American name?
It must be.
Hi, Mike. This is the Silver Fox here.
This is Harry he's referring to.
I lost my father 4 months ago, and I have reoccurring dreams with him in the dream. And I was wondering if you think that it's a mechanism to help your brain cope with the trauma, or if there's more to it, and if you've experienced that yourself. Gang.
Gang, bro. Silver Fox.
Gang, I felt bad I was joking at the beginning of that.
It's okay. You didn't know.
But
I was about to joke and I didn't. But dude, my dad came and visited me in a dream recently in Hawaii. Yeah. I was in Hawaii. I hadn't seen my dad in 20 years, and he showed up in a dream. It was really
What was the dream?
He was there. Matthew McConaughey was there, and Robert De Niro was there. And there was like kind of an argument. It was at lunch, and I was trying to get everybody to communicate, but De Niro didn't want to talk to my dad. McConaughey was a little bit indifferent, but it ended up they chatted for a minute. And I don't know what it was all about, but that was just the dream. And then I got to just see my dad. I just hadn't seen him.
Dang.
And he was younger than I'd ever met him at. And it was just...
Wow.
It was crazy. And it was just... I mean, I'd never had no dream. And then I'm in Hawaii.
So wait, did he die 20 years ago?
No, he died about, I think maybe, he died about 22 years ago.
22.
But it was just to see him, just to have like a moment where I thought I was really there with him,
Yeah.
And I know your father passed. Yeah. Do you feel like was there moments where he was with you? Was there moments, or was it a disconnect? Was there any of that?
This is actually a crazy question because it happened all the time when I started this walk. Like, it was crazy. I mean, I was telling my friends, I was like, dude, I see my dad, I had dreams about my dad. I don't really feel like, but some people believe different things. I don't really feel like that's him visiting me. I don't really believe that. But I would say I'm having dreams about my dad. But yeah, it would be all the time, man. So much more than when I was on the walk. And I wake up and I remember just feeling like, similar to you, mostly in the dreams, because my dad, he got brain cancer, and the last like year, 10 months, he was really like dying. He was in the hospital bed, that kind of thing. He was sick. And in the dreams, he's never sick. It's always more like a few years before that's the state his body's and he's in. And I remember the feeling like when I'd either after I'd wake up, or the feeling was always like almost shock, like he's really dead. He's really gone. And I remember feeling like how sad it really was, and how real, like then I remembered the whole deal that happened with when he was sick.
It almost refreshes it because they were there for a second in your head.
But it feels more like it felt more heavy than it did when I was there. Like helping take care of him, because I was just doing it then, and I had to make sure I was doing a good job. And I look back and I just remember the feeling was like, fuck, man, that shit really happened. Dad got cancer and he died. Fuck. You know, I didn't really know what to do with that. You know, I would wake up and I would take care of what I said I was going to take care of. If I had to theorize to Silver Fox, I would think it's probably, again, I'm no fucking psychologist, but I would just, I would guess like it's me feeling what I need to feel. And maybe I'm cruising so hard and I'm doing all the stuff. I'm busy. All that shit's good, you know. I don't feel bad about any of that. But maybe I didn't feel all the pain, all the grief I needed to. So it's coming at night. That's what I would guess, dude.
Was it easier to go to sleep at night, or was it harder to go to sleep at night on the walk? I would feel, it would seem like you'd be so exhausted, but that's just what I would think.
It would be little like waves you got to catch, you know, like I was trying to get to bed at 7:30. because I knew I wouldn't fall asleep, right? So, but I was trying to be like in the bed, starting the process.
And you in the camp or you in a Winnebago when you sleep? You guys get a hotel sometimes?
Mostly, every once in a while, but mostly, yeah, we had an RV. That was our support vehicle. But then when we would do the actual like parts that were like the Rocky Mountains or certain parts of the desert in Arizona, like the Mojave Desert in California, the RV couldn't drive on those parts. So then I'd be sleeping in a tent. But that was the best part, dude, sleeping in the tent. And anytime we'd finish those, we'd come back. Our RV we called Larry. We'd come back, Julie, we'd be like, man, I love Larry, but kind of like, fuck Larry, bro. Like, we don't really need him, dude. So, yeah, man, it would be hard, especially in the summer when it's hot. I wasn't sleeping too well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is hard to sleep when it's so hot. And I was in Maui this summer for just a week.
Humble brag.
Yep. And island fucking humble brag too, dude. And I didn't have any air conditioning in the hotel room, and it was so hard to sleep at night.
Dang, what fucking promoter booked you out there, dude? Like, don't worry, Theo. All expenses paid, dude. Yeah, all expenses paid. Just come on out. It'll be a great time, man.
Bro, I would put a couple ices on my back, and I would lay down and put some ices on my back.
That's right.
Let's get one more question, man, and then we'll quit taking up all of Mike's day.
Hey, I'm here for you.
This is awesome, man. Oh, wait, let me guess the name.
I'm stumped.
Yeah, me too.
It's something about the way his eyes got caught in that frame. One's bigger than the other.
Yeah, I'll go with Shane. I'll go with Shane.
That's a good guess. That's a damn good guess.
Thanks, bro.
Fuck, man, you are good.
Well, let's see. We're both fucking got
Dude, that's a fucking Shane, though. Hold on. Did he say his name? Wait, I gotta guess. Hold on. I'm gonna go with Michael.
He didn't say his name. It's Finn Sanders. Finn.
Damn.
That's close to Shane.
Yeah.
I feel like they're in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, you got to get a regular name. Finn, you got to fucking...
Why did we didn't do it? Did we have any crazy guesses, yo?
I don't know why I didn't guess Finn.
You should have guessed that. You should have guessed Bartholomew. Bro. That would have been a good guess, bro. All right, come on, Finn.
And the discussion topic that I want to talk about is regarding Mike's philosophy on life, which I have been trying to adopt: loving people, forgiving, understanding. I just wonder, where do you draw the line when you recognize actually malevolent and pathological behavior? Do you still think you can exterminate stuff like that with love and understanding? Or do you think that you sometimes have to draw a line? Thank you to you both for what you're doing. This is the collab of the year. Gang.
Gang, bro.
That second game
was
felt good, bro.
You came in hot with it.
Because it came out like my stomach.
Yeah.
And not my brain.
Yeah.
You know, first time I did, I was trying to sound cool.
Yeah, you were stuck in your throat.
I was thinking about, I was a gang.
Yeah. You need that guttural
I was a gang, bro.
Yeah.
Gang.
Yeah, that esophagus gang. In the beginning, you got to get that guttural
All right,
gang,
dude,
bro.
I want to hear you answer the question, too. Because it's a good one. Especially you in recovery. I know forgiveness is a big part of that.
Yeah, I think you have to do your best. You know, I think that I think almost everybody you can find a way to relate to. Almost everybody. And I think there's instances where you can't. And for me, my instincts will usually kind of let me know. Like, this is someone you can work with and learn from, or you guys can be a part of each other's lives or help each other in some way. And this is something that's out of your capable jurisdiction. There's nothing, if you continue to engage here, that you're going to be able to help each other. It's just not a good match. That's for a higher power. That's for something that you can't handle. And so, that's where I think I'll just trust my instincts sometime and that's where I'll draw the line. If it's not that something's pure evil, but it's just something that I can't really help. I can't help, or it can't help me, even in a positive way, like in any type of emotional way or anything,
Yeah.
I think sometimes it's just out of my hand. I'm not, I'm just a layman of the of the higher powers. So it's like, you know, a lot of times I need more help than there's a lot. Sometimes you do run across some people where it's just, they need to send this person back into the drawing board, back into the ether, and let them get them remodeled, you know?
Oh, shit, dude.
Sometimes I think.
What are you talking about?
Dark arts,
You
bro.
talking about killing them, dude?
I mean, I ain't killing them, bro, but I'll come to the funeral, you know?
Good
I'll be
God.
out there, bro.
Jeez
It's the dark
Louise.
arts, man. It doesn't end, Michael.
Fuck, man.
It
Man.
doesn't end.
I think there's a difference between forgiveness and who you choose to spend your time with or spend your life with, really. Forgiveness is for yourself, you know, really. I think. I'm looking at you like you asked me the question.
No, it's okay. I love it.
Hey, listen, bro. Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
Tell me.
I think forgiveness is for yourself. You know, somebody fucks you over,
yeah.
son. Then you got to carry that. You know, so they always say like, you hate somebody, they don't feel that hate. You feel the fucking hate. You got to walk around with that. You know, and so I think the forgiveness is for yourself.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, like, I think this is where I'm at right now in my life. If you asked me a year ago, I think I'd say something very different. But right now, I think I'm a 31-year-old man. Part of my job is to be respectful, but also not be disrespected. So if somebody's gonna disrespect me, or even like if I first meet someone and it just feels off, that's cool. I'm just gonna be nice to you, but we're not gonna be friends. You know, I'm not gonna go be friends with you just to be nice because you asked to have dinner with me or whatever. I'm good, you know. So and then it goes same thing. Sometimes someone you love might do some shit that you think is disrespectful, and one of the big things for me is I was always in the past, just because I was so scared of conflict, I just withdraw, and maybe I just like avoid them, or maybe I don't avoid them, but I got this little thing in the back of my head going, remember that one fucking time they did this?
Resentment,
Yeah, that resentment. And now I think part of my job, you know, as to myself is to not allow myself to be disrespected. Or if I'm disrespecting my boy, just call him out on it. Hey, motherfucker, I don't like the way you said that to me, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
And you can do that with love, too. It's interesting how you can.
And it can be a moment for them where they go, oh, man, you're right. And they can learn, and it actually can help them not do that in another part of their lives. Or sometimes you saw it, you read it fucking wrong. And you know, and they get you get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
But I had a friend of mine, one of my best friends, dude. He was there on the beach. He's an interventionist, so he travels 250 days a year.
That's amazing,
dude. This guy,
I would love to have him come on. Would he ever be willing to come on here and talk about that?
I can't speak for him.
Right.
I'd love for him to. He fucking should, but we'll see.
Okay.
But at the very least, man, let's sometime like. The three of us eat, or even if I'm not there, you should meet him sometime.
I'd love to meet him, man.
And he's older than us too. That's one of the things
powerful.
I love about him, man, because he just. The first time I met her, I thought like this guy, his eyes were kind of glowing. I'm like, this dude's an angel, bro.
Damn,
you know,
bro.
like that. You know, when you meet someone that's bad vibes, kind of, it's like the opposite.
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
You know, but he's in recovery, 33 years.
Wow.
And
I bet. Imagine him being on the front lines of seeing somebody have a moment that starts to change their life.
That's his job every day.
Fuck, that's crazy, bro.
Every day. And why'd I bring him up? What were we talking about?
We're talking about just like how sometimes, you know, you can, I don't know.
Oh, I know why. He said to me the dopest shit about resentment.
Mm-hmm.
Because one time when I first met him, he had texted me a few times and I missed it. And the second time he called, left a message. I was like, oh yeah, I'll call him later. Fucking forgot. Like three times. I basically blew him off. And I called him back eventually. He said, hey, you know, you made it pretty clear to me that you didn't want to continue our relationship. And that's not how I felt at all. I just felt like, hey, I'm a fucking artist. I don't have to call people back. Everybody understands I'm doing important shit, which I'm not really.
Right.
You know, I'm just doing my life. It's not any more important than anybody else's. But in my head, that's really what I fucking thought. And he said, look, man, you made it pretty clear you didn't want to continue the relationship. But now you're calling me, so I see you do. But I wrote you an email I was just getting ready to send. And I'm going to send it anyway so you can see where I'm at. And because resentment has an appetite I could never satisfy. And that just stuck with me, man. It's like, you got a problem with somebody, even if your problem is not justified, you gotta say it. You know, you gotta say it. That was, yeah.
Yeah.
And he just called me out my shit.
Damn.
You know?
It's nice when something can come through and touch you, especially like in Hollywood. You know, its ego is so dangerous and it's easy and it happens to us without us even knowing it.
So slow over the years, bro. Sneaks in.
It's crazy.
Slips. It's
like that snake and it fucking bit you, dog.
It's not even like the snake, bro. It's like a snake that bites you real slow over 10 years.
Like a romantic snake, yeah.
The snake is like, boop. You're going to the hospital, motherfucker, you know?
Did you feel when that snake got you like it was something? Was it anybody in particular? Did you like, oh, somebody sent this snake? Like, was there a thing in your head?
Dude, that's some Louisiana shit, dude.
I'm just saying, bro.
Fuck, dude.
I don't know, dude.
God damn it, Jeffrey.
Yeah, well, look.
He got me. What?
I'm just saying, man, if a snake came all the way up to the interstate, snake don't go by the interstate.
What
bro.
do you think it would have been like if I walked across Louisiana? You think that would have been pretty cool?
There's a lot of drunk drivers down there. That's the only risky part. Outside of that, yeah, I think it would have been pretty
Bro, I got
cool.
some of those swampy areas.
Oh, dude, your crotch would have definitely, your nuts would have turned into a real hornet's nest, I bet, bro.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Because, yeah, animals could live inside of your body down there. They find dead people all the time. They find a little animal in them. Like, damn, what is this?
Well,
bro?
they died first, then the animal went in?
Well, who
or
knows?
the animal went in and killed them from the inside?
A lot of people think that.
How the animal get in? Like, what kind of animals?
Dude,
Talking about some of those gerbils you
Yes,
ate,
I'm
dude.
just saying, bro. If something stops by at night and you've been putting on weight, you won't even fucking notice,
Oh
man.
my gosh, dude.
You won't even notice. Mike,
I would notice, dude. Speak for
I could
yourself.
see you. Yeah, my bad. I wouldn't notice, man. Mike walked across America and it's almost like you went all that way to meet yourself in some ways, man.
For
It's
sure.
wild.
100%. 100%.
Dude, it's captivating, man. It's really, really inspiring. Were you amazed by how many people were inspired by like who got on board and started to really feel inspiration from you?
Yeah, it was pretty great because, you know, you're doing the thing for yourself. And then, like I said, there's this shitty part of me that's doing it for attention, you know.
But you're able to recognize that and say those two things.
You gotta say it. It's a smaller part, you know, but it's there. But mainly, you know, and as I went along, they got smaller. And I really after I got by a snake, I shut down everybody walking with me because I didn't want anybody else to get hurt. And it really became more of like my journey, you know. And this is how I know, because when I started the walk, I thought when I finish, I'm gonna go. When I get to LA, I'm gonna post on Instagram, and I'm gonna walk across LA. I'm gonna have like 1,000 people behind me.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that would be in our head.
You know, I'm gonna have this
news helicopters.
I'm gonna have a parade.
Missiles.
Know? And then as I got closer, I go, dude, you don't even fucking want that. All you want to do is be there with the people you love the most. You know, it's not even the people you love the most. Be there with the people you want to see in that moment. And I didn't blow it up. I actually did the opposite. I did a post on. I'm like, hey man, as you guys know, I'm getting close. And some people been writing in like, can we walk with you? Can we meet you at the end? And I said, no, you can't. You know, you can't walk with me that day. I'm taking a vow of silence. I'm not taking any fucking selfies that day. I'm just gonna finish it alone for me. And that's really what I wanted. And I had to ask for what I wanted. And you know what happened? I walked across LA, man. Some people recognized me. All of them respected that.
Wow.
And they said, Mike, we're not trying to slow you down. Just, finish up or keep going. Everybody was cool with it.
But it's crazy you had to ask yourself for what you wanted. That's really interesting.
I had to ask myself, but what I wanted, what I'm saying is, it changed.
Right.
The guy who started the walk had this goofy vision, and you get this validation from a lot of people being there. That's not really the guy that made it to the other side. So it's interesting, like, because I think part of that attention wanting part of myself had to be there for me to start. But then when I did the thing, man, that thing kind of died a little bit along the way. You know, he didn't make it across, dude, really.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe a little bit he made it across, but probably he's a little weaker now.
I like that.
Yeah.
Man, thank you so much, Mike, for coming and talking.
Anytime.
Man.
And I just want to add last thing. I know you're wrapping it up, but I didn't say this on the record, but I told you before. That's how this whole thing started. Was you know, in between my segments, I would break up my day 8, usually 8, and then or 8, 4, make 24, and it got a little longer towards the end. But in between all my rips, that's what I call them, all my 8-mile rips. A lot of times we would put your shit on, dude, just fuck, because it's hard out there. It's a grind.
I can imagine.
So me and Julian would be on there. We just put your shit on. We'd be like, dude, this guy, man, we'd be laughing so hard. And then we could just listen to one video. You know, we lose service.
Yeah.
But when you lose service, one Theo Von joke, that lasts you like a month. That nocturnal bus, dude, we just, like, I'd leave. I'd walk 8 miles. You know, it takes me 2 hours, 45, whatever. I come back, man. I'll be like, dude, I'm chasing that bus, dude, that dream bus, dude. You know, we just repeat that shit for like a month. You know, one joke.
That's awesome, man.
And one joke.
I'm glad I could be a little bitty part of it.
No, you helped so much, man. So that's what I'm saying.
And chasing that bus, man, that shit is, there's nothing like it, dude. Get it while you can, bro. Because that shit gets few and far between, bro. The bus starts to rust, baby. The bus starts to rust,
when we get older, bro?
Yeah, man. That thing. God, man. There's nothing better than just blowing up in your sleep, bro. You didn't have to do anything. And the girl's usually beautiful. It's usually a girl you really like.
I had some nightmare dream bus.
Oh, damn, dude. What the fuck,
I had some nightmare dream bus.
Oh my God, dude.
Horrible.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah. It's where
Who would come in a nightmare?
Bro, no, I'm having sex in the dream, but it's with a person I don't like.
Oh.
And in the this I think it only happened one time, if I'm being honest. But I'm having sex with somebody I don't like, and I have no condom, and I come in them.
Oh my God!
And then I wake up, and then I came in real life in a dream bust. I'm like, fuck, man.
Bro,
this is how I'm starting this day off? Good God. This is horrible.
That's how half of America fucking got here, too. Half of the people in existence became people just how you said. Somebody
they didn't even like them.
Somebody didn't really like them at their core, probably. Dude, people have ejaculated into a lot of people they didn't really enjoy, I bet. Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it?
Horrible. Damn, that's a terrible note to end on.
Yeah, it is, man. But that's life, huh?
Yeah. You gotta keep going.
You gotta keep going, dude. What it is, though, man. You have a new album that's out, too, if people want to hear songs from across your journey.
Yeah, no, I actually made this thing before I left.
Okay.
I made an album basically for myself to listen to when it got hard. And so I made these songs, and I got little messages from people I respect, like Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
Wow, yeah, he's amazing.
And Diddy, and my mom, and Bun B, E40. And so there's the songs, and there's little messages from them basically saying what they wanted me to remember when it got hard.
Wow.
And I made this little project for myself, remind myself who I am. And then, you know, after I walked with it a little while, I started to put songs out, and then I put the whole mixtape out. I call it mixtape, but it's an album. It's called Keep Going.
Keep going.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going, man.
That's right, boy.
Amen,
hey,
bro.
man, I appreciate you. All the happiness you felt in the world, happiness you gave me, dude. I can't tell you how much we laughed.
Well, thanks,
listening
man.
to you in the car on the way over, just laughing.
I'm glad to be reminded that that's what I'm doing, because sometimes, you get a little bit confused, as to what's going on.
Because the point, right? If I'm making music or I'm walking across America, right? It's supposed to, nourish me, make me a better person. At the same time, hopefully, help others along the way, make their journey a little easier. And what you doing here? Man.
Well, I think a lot of our listeners, I think, are, it's what else? It's outside of the walk, It's the walk that's going on inside of all of us. I think a lot of young men and women and even strong lesbians are feeling that shit right now, bro. Everybody, dude. So we're out there, man. But thank you for being here, Michael.
You got it, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
You got it.
Now I'm just floating on the breeze, and I feel I'm falling like these leaves. I must be cornerstone. Oh, but when I reach that ground, I'll share this peace of mind I found. I can feel it in my bones, but it's gonna take a little time for me to set that parking brake and let myself unwind. Shine